Welcome everyone, one and all, to my reaction to Season 1, Episode 7 of Bridgerton, Oceans Apart. So, last time obviously we had a scene that was quite uncomfortable. It was quite disturbing by today's standards. I think that it is a very complicated situation. It's very nuanced. We're dealing with a character who has very limited information when it comes to the area of the act that she committed. It wasn't okay. It was uncomfortable to watch. However, I do think that some leeway should be given for someone who literally didn't have knowledge of like what they were doing and the severity of what they were doing. Daphne was seeing it more so as a kind of, you've done something to me, so I'm going to do something to you, not understanding the severity of it. But even then, the thing that Simon did to her was awful as well, putting her into a relationship where she was under the impression it was a physical inability, under the impression that it wasn't going to be something that she could have, only to find out that it was all a lie, that she trusted a man who was not giving her all of the information, which does fucking suck. Like I said, it's very complex. I think that both parties should be blamed for the part that they played. I think that Simon should have been honest with her from the beginning and told her everything. That being said, what Daphne did was still not okay, and it should be like, there should be some level of, what do you call it? There should be some kind of repercussion for doing that. But it's just, it's hard to view a scene like that with a modern mind because, like, well, she didn't even know what sex was until very recently, so leeway has to be given. But yes, anyway, moving on from that, in terms of other parts of the episode, I mean, we did truly end the episode with a different scene, which was Marina's secret being revealed by Lady Whistledown to everyone, which... that is a big yikes. That is a big oh shit moment. I mean, I feel like her relationship with Colin is definitely off the table. I don't think that's going to progress. Equally, she's not going to find anyone else to be within this town because, like, they're not going to get with an already pregnant woman. My God, the scandal. So, bless Marina. She's been put in a tough position, and I'm not excited to see where the Featheringtons go from here. But with that said, very excited to get into it and see how everything plays out. So without further ado, let's go. I wonder what their first conversation is going to be like. Are we going to get to see it? Like, is this the day after? Trying to put him off, Jesus Christ. It's like, not only could it be an attempt to put him off of his game and piss him off, but also it could be an attempt of like, look at me, give me attention, we need to talk. Come on now, I guess we'll see where her head is at very soon. But going into this episode, I will say, I'm trying to put aside my own preconceptions. I mean, up until that very last scene, I was thinking the whole episode, oh my God, Daphne, you're such a great person, you're so kind, you're so caring. So I'm not going to lose that. I'm not going to pretend that those feelings towards her are gone, even though she did something that made me very uncomfortable. I'm trying to see it as more of a, from a time where she didn't understand what she was doing and why that was such a big issue, and try and move on from there, you know? So just wanted to like put it out there that that's where I'm trying to go with this episode. I feel like they're both quite happy with the distance at dinner tonight.
Would you please ask Miss Nolan if my personal effects have yet been removed from the Duke's bedchamber and placed in the Duchess's rooms?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It is customary for a wife to reside in her own bedchamber once the honeymoon is over.
Oh, really? I was unaware of that tradition.
Whistledown has just arrived.
Oh,
Well,
I genuinely thought she meant the person. I was like, what?
I shall not let you out of my sight until we know whether you are with child.
Damn. I didn't even think about the fact that Colin would also be in like the midst of a scandal, because are they going to think that like the baby could be his and that's why they're rushing a marriage? That's why they got engaged. You know what I mean? Like, uh-oh.
Please request that His Grace prepare his largest carriage. I shall require my space.
Okay. I feel like she is pregnant, by the way. I feel like that must be the storyline that we go down. I don't see them getting to a point of actually wanting to have a child. I think they're going to have a child. Then it will go from there.
Her engagement to Colin Bridgerton was nothing more than a sham.
Oh, bless his heart. He's got tears in his eyes.
Could very well tarnish my debut, Mama. Perhaps we should delay my coming out altogether a few years.
Hush,
A
child.
few years is crazy.
Perhaps if she can destroy a reputation,
She can also build one.
she can restore one too.
Yeah. Therefore, finding Lady Whistledown is now even more important.
even charity requires funds, of which you must have considerable amounts, I presume?
You would be presuming wrong.
We do not require your assistance.
Oh, well, that is simply not true, Anthony, and you know it. Daphne may be the answer to all of our problems.
She's literally the person in the highest of society in the family. She's definitely the one who should be here to try and fix the reputation. Come on now. Maybe Colin and her should go for a walk in the park, have a conversation. I don't know how it fucking works in this world, but you know, she is here. Use her.
Or pretending that nothing is amiss is the perfect way to lure the ignorant into submission. Is it not, Mama?
Jesus Christ.
What grand event will the Ton be descending upon this week? Surely there is something.
I love that there's like an event each week.
I'm so very glad this has all been settled on my behalf.
Oh, I do feel for you, Colin. You were kind of led into a very shitty position, but...
Whistledown knew her better than you.
Whistledown knows everyone's secrets.
And you are lucky to have learnt Miss Thompson's now instead of after your wedding day.
Daphne is very much on a bitter run right now.
When I think of her, I only want to be near her, to be with her.
I know that madness well.
I don't want to be rude. Sorry if this comes across wrong, but like, you can't have developed deep feelings for her already. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just pessimistic. I don't think that's really possible. You can think there's a good feeling there. You can think it could go somewhere, but with the amount of time that you've spent with each other, really?
Did something happen? Sister, back at Cliveden.
Picked up on it immediately.
Perhaps I can arrange a rendezvous.
I would appreciate that. You will see, my passions are not in vain.
It would tarnish the family name if you still get together though, but we'll see what happens.
You were still awake?
Daphne, that door creaks so fucking loud, girly.
Is this truly what our marriage will be for the future?
Not 3 weeks since we were wed, yet already you imagine me disloyal.
Is it such a wild imagining?
Yeah, it's understandable why her brain would go there when he's... It was a big betrayal of trust. Plain and simple. It was a big betrayal of trust. In both ways, in my opinion, but obviously, sign of the times and everything. It's hard to think why Daphne would think that she did a big betrayal of trust against him, you know?
Nothing left.
Is what I said?
Is it what you believe?
I am okay with this if we also have a conversation, because like this doesn't solve anything. There are obvious issues here.
Should we go into the bedroom? Finish what we started?
Oh. Yep.
Simon!
If you are with child, then I shall stay and do my duty to support you both.
And if I'm not?
Then we shall remain married, in name only.
Wow.
We no longer trust each other. I understand that quite well.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm meant to be feeling this, but I'm feeling quite... I don't know, I think that's quite valid, in my opinion. I mean, he feels as though he was taken advantage of. He feels as though she did something that he clearly did not want. Like, at the end of the day, it is very problematic that it wasn't explained to her. Absolutely. As a woman in this society, not being able to get divorced, all of that, I do get it. That being said, he was taken advantage of. He made it clear, no matter if it was a lie about why or whatever, it was clear he did not want children. That was forced upon him. Of course he's going to be feeling like this. Of course he's not going to want to have sex with her. Of course he doesn't feel like he can trust her. So I think this is completely valid. We'll see where this goes. I don't see us ending the season with them in this position. I think we're going to be ending the season with them in love, with them with a baby. It just makes sense for the story that we've been going on. But I think it's very valid, the feelings that he's having right now. I'm not going to sit here and say that that wasn't okay.
Miss Thompson, I will remain here as a chaperone.
Good, honestly. Can't trust Colin at the moment, let's be real.
You said you loved me.
Colin, I hold you in the greatest esteem.
Esteem? You are a
Oh,
cruel woman
shit.
indeed to stand here.
That's a stab in the heart.
I did not come here to be shamed by you, nor anyone else.
Absolutely fair. What the fuck was she meant to do? She was put in such a fucking corner because of the society that they live in.
Consider myself lucky that you chose me.
God.
Lied to me, tried to trick me into a fraud of a marriage.
What a horrible situation for both of them, honestly.
I shall take my leave of you for the last time, Miss Thompson.
Respectable and understandable.
If you had simply come to me and told me of your situation, I would have married you without a second thought.
Aww.
That is how, in love, I believe myself to be.
Oh, bless your little heart, mate. Christ.
May I say how well you look?
No, you are too kind.
Is it not marvellous to be wed?
It is both a
I'm sorry, I need to go back and look at Simon's outfit again. Holy fucking shit. That is quite possibly my favorite outfit in this entire show. I cannot explain to you how much my brain is loving this. Oh,
Are you yet with child?
We have certainly been devoting our energies to the endeavor, Your Majesty. We should hope to see our queen soon satisfied.
Jesus Christ. Yikes.
Duplicity comes so naturally.
I seem to have learnt from the best.
Oh my god. Oh, Mama overheard that. Uh-oh.
Her Majesty requires an audience.
With me now?
Where do I know this guy from? My brain is trying to tell me, but I don't know.
Who is she? Just whistle down. I've tasked you. Get me an answer. Your queen commands it. Of course.
Jesus Christ. I will say the Queen is a very interesting character because I do understand that this is like high society and that's why they have such easy access to her. But it's so strange to me that the Queen is so like out in the open. Like she's just out with the people, you know? But again, I understand this is high society. She's not going to be walking the streets downtown, for example, because like obviously I've grown up with a queen in my own country and there's always been this like distance with the royal family. It's always felt like they are kind of like at any event they go to, they're always in their own area, far away from other people, you know? So just the concept of her being so close to all of these people it feels really weird to me.
It is an invitation for one. Special soiree with the married ladies of the town.
Oh, please. Give me all the tea. This sounds like a fucking tea fest. Oh. Oh god. Queenie's face. Queenie's face says it all, fuck.
Lady Whistledown has gone too far this time. We will convince her to publish a retraction and restore your family's reputation. All will be well again, I promise you.
Does throw a spanner into the works because, like, again, my only theory really is Penelope. They could pull a wild card, to be fair. Like, the reason I think it's Penelope is she's educated. She gives me all the vibes of someone who would like, for instance, if you have this person who's like known to be the one who's like always talking to people, always getting the gossip, and then Lady Whistledown's always writing about it, it'll be quite obvious. But Penelope's the kind of person where I feel like she would definitely fade into the background enough where people wouldn't even realize that she's doing it. The only issue that I have with Penelope is the funds. Because obviously you need money. And I was originally running with this idea when I thought the Featheringtons had money. Then we found out they are broke as fuck. So what the hell would Penelope be doing to get money to be able to publish all of this? Like, I don't really have an answer to that. So maybe it isn't Penelope.
I have an invitation.
Not anymore. I'm sure you wish to avoid any further unpleasantness.
How would that feel to be disinvited by the Queen? Christ.
Teach them what, Miss Cowper? Judging not, lest we too be judged.
Oh shit, Daphne, pop the fuck off. Oh, I love when someone challenges society.
Or perhaps you will send me off with more vague metaphors and trite remarks.
Fair. That's fair.
You taught me how to play pretend, but nothing of the realities of married life, of marital relations.
It is one of those things where you have to remember that we're seeing two people have an argument here. We're seeing two women have an argument here about the fact that Daphne wasn't prepared for life as she should have. The problem is we're seeing two people who have equally been affected by the society because they are women. I mean, Daphne's mum was in Daphne's position, what, like 20 years ago or whatever? It's one of those situations where it's like Daphne has a right to be angry at her mother, but we as the audience need to focus on the fact that it isn't really her mother's fault. It's the society and the fact that her mother has been brought into a world where it was uncomfortable for her to even bring up the things that she did with Daphne, let alone the rest of it. And I don't think it's fair to blame her for that. She's just learning from what she's been told before. And in the world that they live in, it's not like she has access to a broad amount of information and a broad amount of different walks of life that would allow her to see things differently. So it is sad to see Daphne take this all out on her mother, even though I hold nothing against Daphne for doing so. It's just, I'm sitting here knowing that it's not really her mother's fault. It's just, women are mistreated in every single way in this society, so what can you do? Just sucks.
If you had informed me about the things that were truly important, if I'd have known the truth, then perhaps I...
Oh shit. That's the person we did not want to overhear. Uh-oh. To be fair, Lady Danbury's like a fucking babe.
The Duchess is quite overcome.
She's like, bitch, come on now. Do not try and play that card. But yeah, Lady Danbury is a lovely lady, so I hope she has ways to help.
Your brother is a sweet boy.
You do not need to. I came here to apologize to you.
Nice.
I misjudged you. And I wanted to tell you that what you felt you had to do, I understand.
Sorry, I was trying to refrain from pausing. I don't like that. I liked it in the sense that I think it's good of Daphne to recognize, because it's one of those things in this society when you've like learned a way of doing things. Like Daphne was there protecting her family, boom, boom, boom. She was just doing what needed to be done. To then be faced with the humanity of the situation, to see Marina falling apart, explaining that there was like nothing else that she could do. What was she meant to do? It then obviously made Daphne understand. What I don't like about that is you are not alone. I understand what it means to like do what you think you have to do. That makes me uncomfortable, because that sounds like justifying her actions as something she had to do, which she did not have to do. It was a choice that she made, and a choice that I definitely don't agree with, no matter the like level of knowledge she has. But yeah, that felt very icky to me.
What is Sir George's surname?
Whatever for, Your Grace.
I hear General Langham and his wife are in London. Perhaps I could speak to him.
Oh shit.
Perhaps I can make him come back and take responsibility for you and his child.
So Daphne's trying to solve her own inner problems right now by helping someone else.
Say for you and I to come to some arrangement as to the outcome of your next fight.
Oh.
And I'll make such a wager on your opponent that even half my winnings will set you and your family up for life.
Wow.
Is not for sale.
I respect that highly.
Do you think he sought his freedom, or for his future son to become some exhausted fighter stumbling into the ring to put food on the table?
I was gonna say, mate, you need to be careful.
I merely ask that you have a think on it, at the very least.
It's one of those really shitty things, isn't it? It's like, if you could truly change your way of life, if you can truly get your family into such a better position, why would you not do it? But then equally, if it really fucks with your own opinion of yourself. Also, this is crazy. I was not expecting it to be this. Let's go.
And this is Kitty Langham.
Oh,
The
hello,
General's
Kitty.
wife. Yes. Well, lovely to meet you all.
Kitty looks very familiar.
Now, ladies, place your bets.
This is fantastic that these women have these events to go to where they can just be themselves and have a good fucking time and not worry of society and its impacts and everything. Like, they are just letting their hair down. This is so fucking cute. Oh, look at them all having fun. And then we got the fucking boring men's society.
It is quite the ideal situation. To live a separate life to one's husband, I am afforded all the freedoms of marriage while bearing none of the burden of his company.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing.
You forget the Duchess is still in the first bloom of marriage.
She doesn't have the hardships.
Yes, the famous love match.
That they think.
I would not expect you to understand.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you leave a litany of broken promises behind you everywhere you go.
Oh, shite.
What is most unfortunate is the fact that your father was so absent. He never gave you a proper example of how to lead a household.
Fucking hell. That's horrible.
Do you think he's looking down on you now? Ashamed?
Oh no. Oh no. Not surprised one bit. In my opinion, Anthony started it. He brought up stuff that he shouldn't have to do with Hastings' father, but... Oh, it's like Anthony started it, but Simon didn't have to go there as well, but he did, and so... Clash. I do think it's something to be brought up, though, not in that way at all. But the fact that Simon hadn't had a good example of a family or anything is 1000% influencing his wanting of a child. Like, of course it is. So it is frustrating that not only did his father treat him in such a way that was so deplorable as a father to your child, but also the fact that he's now ruined Simon's own idea of family and what it means to be a father and everything. Like, that alone is sad as well. But God, Anthony bringing it up in that way, yikes. But of course, Simon then going talking about Anthony's father. Guys, come on now.
Seems I became a little too rough training with Will.
Okay.
With 4 brothers, you cannot imagine the nasty cuts I have tended to over the years.
Well, you'll be surprised who calls these. This is all well and good. We can see that there are feelings there, but you have to come to some kind of understanding with each other.
Tell me why you are so adamant.
Because I swore a long time ago that I would never sire a child.
I do not understand.
You have to tell her the truth, but even then I don't know if she'll understand.
That his efforts would be in vain. That the line would die with me.
So this is all because of a vow?
She's not going to take this well, is she?
Some token of revenge against a man who no longer walks this
I
earth.
swore to him on his deathbed.
And you betrayed me in our marriage bed.
It's a really tough one because, like, I do agree. Like, I am 1000% of the opinion that this man no longer walks this earth. So, like, what does it matter? But he literally was talking to Anthony and said, would your father be looking down on you? So I would take it that he's somewhat of a religious man, somewhat of a spiritual man at least, and thinks that there is a life after death. And so I do understand why he would still want to keep that vow and everything, because say he was to have a child out of love or anything, it would be marred by the fact that he could see his father probably looking up, let's be honest, smiling and thinking, oh, no matter what you did, I still got my way, you know? Like, I do get it, but then equally, take what Daphne did out of the equation. Say she didn't do that, and I'm just looking at this with, like, pure eyes and everything. 1000% understand this perspective, of course. I mean, she went into this marriage thinking that she was getting with a person who could not physically have children. That is a completely different thing than someone who is doing it out of a sense of revenge against their father. Like, that is a very different thing. That is showing that, like, your biggest want out of life that you were willing to put aside for them because they physically couldn't do it and your love superseded that, you're then saying that no, it wasn't that, it's that my want of revenge is more powerful than my wanting to give you the most important thing, the thing that you have valued most in turn, like, in your life as you get older and everything. That does fucking suck. So I do completely understand it, but my issue is just the lack of acknowledgement for her taking advantage of him that night, and the lack of acknowledgement for how wrong that was is what's being marred here. It's like, even a little apology, even a little bit of understanding, and I would be so much happier. I'm not expecting the world. I mean, she still doesn't even understand why it was so wrong. But you know what I mean? It's like, we are watching a TV show, and it's making it hard for me to completely relate to this person, to completely understand where Daphne's going from, because I feel like an injustice has been committed that is not being focused on.
Nor the happiness we could have together because you promised your father you would not.
That's a good perspective. I promised my father I wouldn't be happy, is basically.
My courses are due within the next few days. You will know then which vow you have broken and how we are to spend the rest of our lives.
Shit. Miserable together or perfectly happy apart is crazy.
No other event but my luncheon.
At least she did not say anything odious.
I thought she'd take offense.
It is far worse. She wrote nothing.
Oh god. Which, to be fair, would equally add up to Penelope, because she wasn't even there.
The new arrival within the year.
Okay, could still be a potential.
And did the Duke sign his name as well on this letter?
Well,
no.
he will pay attention to the words of a duchess. He must.
Are you so unworldly?
Oh god.
Your help is greatly appreciated, but there is nothing more you can do.
Oh god, what a reality shock. Oof. It is true. It's like, no matter what position a woman gets to, they are still a woman in society's eyes. Christ.
You merely wish to protect me from my more foolish impulses?
So you admit it now, you were acting a fool.
As apologies go, this is certainly novel.
Hush.
Started off well. Oh my god.
We need not hasten your coming out before you feel prepared.
Aww.
An exciting time indeed, Mama.
God, even her aura feels different, but bless her, because we know this isn't what she truly wants. It's going to be a rough one to watch.
And our marriage affords my wife her freedoms and protections. It is a happier union than most of the people in this room have, I assure you.
I'm not going to say that that's wrong.
You have no idea what it is like to be in a room with someone you cannot live without, and yet still feel as though you are oceans apart.
Oh, that is so sad.
It takes courage to live outside the traditional expectations of society.
Fuck yeah, it does, mate. Especially this kind of society. Pop off.
She is a tradesperson. Is that all?
Oh.
I beg your pardon.
Girlie really said no.
I've hired a team of Bow Street runners to do a proper investigation. They will unmask Whistledown.
Honestly, Girlie, I don't know why this wasn't your route to begin with. You are literally the queen. I've not understood this whole time. I've been like, why the fuck is this girlie not hiring someone? Like, if she truly wants to know the identity of Lady Whistledown, you have all of the resources of the country. Go for it.
That noxious gossip rag will finally cease to exist.
Cease to exist is scary.
So I certainly have already heard enough.
Let's go.
You are my most favorite brother. Do you know that?
I love these two together. They're so cute. They're both like, fuck this shit. Don't tell me she's going to try and kill the baby. No. No, don't tell me that's what's happening here. Oh my god. I hope I've completely misread that, because if not...
Why are we at the Modiste?
Oh, wasn't expecting this, girly.
This is my sister Eloise, and we will be dropping her at home.
Eloise is like, well.
Except for the Featheringtons.
Yes,
Oof.
everyone except.
We do not talk ill of the Featheringtons in this carriage.
Your mama did not just help me hide it.
I certainly never want to cross the woman.
Oh, I want to hear what Eloise is thinking that meant. Because, like, if you do think about it, the lady who makes the dresses does get all of the gossip. Like, when you work in that shop, you are going to be getting a load of shit from a load of people, but I don't think you're going to be getting the deepest, darkest secrets. So if Eloise walks away with that thinking that it's definitely her, I'll be a bit confused. But if she is going down the route of it potentially being Penelope, then I am very intrigued to see why she made that connection, because that little flashback thing that we saw there didn't give me anything new, you know? Didn't give me anything new to be like, oh, wait a minute, you know? Is he imagining it? Is that actually her? Oh, it is. Oh, hello. I mean, if she found a relationship that she can actually have, fucking go for it, girly. This looks like a tea of some kind, like with the thing she chose, but I'm concerned as to why she's having this. Like, the only thing I can think of as to why she's doing this so secretively and everything would be a back in the day kind of abortion, but... Period. Did she try and kill herself? Did I read that all wrong? Was she committing suicide? Well, let's hope she wasn't successful. I don't know where they're going to go with their marriage now, then. Oh, what a way to, like, have a final bit of an episode, you know? Cut all of the music that we've been having blasting in our ears and just have her crying. Fuck. That was effective. So, yes, there we have Season 1, Episode 7 of Bridgerton, the penultimate episode of Season 1. And overall, the episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. I do have an issue with it. It was what I feared at the end of last episode. They have made... I'm not annoyed at Daphne for this, really. Like, I don't really hold anything towards her. I'm more so a little bit upset with how this was written, only in the fact that it was written so heavily from the point of view of Simon being completely in the wrong and that being the only thing we're discussing. We didn't really bring up what Daphne did apart from the idea that she could be pregnant, but it wasn't really brought up that it was like a bad thing that she did against him. You know, it was kind of a, like... How do I put this? Like a small little thing that you do in everyday life, you know? It was like a small little injustice she did. It was like, no, that was a big deal. What she did was a huge deal, and I don't think we've explored Simon's feelings on that matter enough. I don't think he's been treated fairly writing-wise in that situation, even within the time period that they're in, you know? Like, I understand where Daphne's coming from when it comes to the time period, not knowing anything and all that. Like, it is a very nuanced, complicated situation. We can't look at it with modern eyes. You physically can't. She literally did not know what sex was until a few weeks ago. So I understand that that is something that has to come into play. My issue is, like, this is a modern TV show that has been written, and it's making me a little bit uncomfortable that there was absolutely zero focus on what Daphne did. You know? It was all based on, like, when it came to Daphne's side, it was all based on, might she be pregnant? They can't really trust each other. But it was going so heavy into why she couldn't trust him and basically didn't discuss why he was having issues trusting her. So that was my only gripe. But other than that, it was a great episode. I do like how we had that scene between Daphne and her mother, even though I am still of the opinion that it's not really her mum's fault. Like, yeah, her mum does have some level of blame, but like in reality, it is the society, and that is the big problem. Just as Daphne didn't know about sex, her mum didn't know that she should tell her daughter about that beforehand and everything, because in her experience, she had a pretty happy, loving family and a pretty happy, loving marriage. So it wasn't really like an issue for her. She found out about sex when she got to her husband, but everything was good. Whereas for Daphne, she found out about sex and unfortunately found out that Simon was lying to her as well, which then caused this big snowball. So I do like that it was brought up though, because it was a major part of all of this that needed to be discussed. The fact that Daphne did not have any prior knowledge about sex and anything until now. In terms of other parts of the episode, moving on from Daphne and Simon though, really loved Lady Danbury. She shot up my list even more. Like, she was already near the top, but Girlie is like fighting for first place as like favorite character, because honestly, actually, if I'm sat here right now and thinking who's my favorite, I think it is Lady Danbury. Like, Girlie is out here being a powerful bitch. She is out here looking after Simon, taking him in when his father threw him to the shit, host these parties for women where they can be themselves, they can just live their lives in freedom and then have to obviously go back to society after, but at least they have this short little space of time where they can be themselves without men looking over them. And she's just, I haven't seen a single part of her character where I thought, oh, that's not so good. It's like, she's just been a queen through and through. I also really enjoyed seeing more of Eloise this episode. I feel like she's a character who, when we have seen her, it's been a little bit more negative. It's been a little bit more like, she's very combative in her beliefs. I completely understand why. When you have been put in this pigeonhole, as so many women, well, basically all the women in their society are, and having these expectations, and you don't fall into that, I completely understand why she is so abrasive and combative with it all. That being said, it does make for a little bit more of a frustrating TV character, because like when someone is constantly being quite against absolutely everything in their surroundings, we don't get these like nice cute moments. Like the one thing that I can think of before this episode was definitely obviously some scenes with Penelope, but also that moment when she was on the swings with Benedict. That was a really cute moment. And even this episode when we saw her and Benedict leaving the party and all that, it's like we got to see a different side to Eloise this episode. We got to see more of a happier side to her, and that was really nice to see. So hopefully as time goes on, we do get to see her find a way to make this life work for her, because obviously I don't want to see a situation where she is forced into some kind of relationship just because it's what society demands and she's miserable for the rest of her life. So fingers crossed we get that, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, very curious about her next episode. I don't know if I'm just being thick about what that scene was meant to mean, what that scene was meant to show when she had that big flash of the past with Penelope and also the lady who does the dresses. I don't know if she was putting pieces together and thinks it's Penelope, or she was putting pieces together and thinks that it's the lady who was doing the dresses, because I don't know. I would think more so that she's thinking it's the lady doing the dresses, because she is the person who, oh, you know what? You know, I was saying earlier that she wouldn't be able to get people's deep, dark secrets. She would. Because the thing with Marina is that she was getting bigger. Her dresses weren't fitting, which if you're used to fitting women in dresses and everything, like, you're going to be able to put two and two together and figure out what's going on. So maybe I am wrong. Maybe it is her. Because of course she's in a shop where like people are always talking, always gossiping. She's going to be able to get a load of shit on people. So maybe it is her. That's kind of throwing a spanner in the works in my mind now. But then again, finances. This is what's throwing me off with both Penelope and her. It's like, neither of them have money. You need money to be able to print these pieces off and get them out to be... Like, there must be so many of these printed... do you call it a newspaper? Whatever this, like, document is that she sends out to everyone. She's got to have a decent amount of them published to be sent out. So, she has to have money. She has to have some level of money to be able to do that. So... I guess we will see how things develop, but now that Queenie is on the case, whoever it is, you need to be careful, because if she finds out, you are going to be in the shit. But yeah, with that said though, like I said, apart from that one little gripe that I had, it was a great episode. I really loved the things that we explored. Once again, liking that we're getting a lot more of the background characters and it's not like solely Daphne and Simon focused, because I think it's very important with a world like this where it is quite expansive to have these other people so that we, along with getting to know the characters, get to know the world a little bit more, get to know about these little aspects. Because, I mean, if we weren't focusing on Benedict, we wouldn't have even seen this queer man and the relationship that he has with his wife and how unique that is, you know? So, really enjoying that side of things. And yeah, I can't wait to see where we go from here. Now, with that said, let me just quickly check if we have any Patreon comments for this episode. We do not slay. As always, if you do have any questions for next episode, be sure to pop them down below. I always do a post with the episode as a question time. So, if there's anything that you, like, really want me to cover that, like, if I miss it, you will be like, ah, that's a shame. Definitely put it there. No question is a stupid question. But yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching. I've left a link down below to my Patreon. We're able to find the early and uncut reactions to Bridgerton and all the other shows that I do. Also left a link to my Twitch, my Discord, and my social. So be sure to follow them if you are interested. And Jess, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.